It is Wednesday, March 23rd, I think. Yes, and it is just a little after 8:30 in the morning. Um, Wednesday means it is house tours day, so we are on Dominion side this time. It is their turn. Let me just do a tweet real quick so that I can be sure that is out and I do not forget. Okay, so before we begin, just a couple of things. One, I posted recently about the Greenleaf Acres, my Exile Alts plot, the one that was set up for a spring Easter event for my guild. There were many people that were asking, well, I say many, there was a handful of people that were asking for me to set that up on the PTR. Good morning, Soccer. Glad you could join us. If we could set that up on the PTR so that those without access to Exile side on EU region could actually get to it. So for any of you NA players, I'm thinking of like Toy and stuff. If you hop on the PTR, you can access the Easter egg hunt plot. It's under the same name, Celery Greenleaf. It's open to the public over there as well. So, you know, it's available now to anybody that can't normally get to it. They should be able to now. Good morning, Bones. Glad you could join us. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that for those of you that missed the little post about it in the forums and the tweet that I did. It's just a heads up. I don't know how long it'll be on there because, you know, the PTR is kind of one of those things where, you know, it could be wiped at any time. So if it happens that people would like me to bring it back later when the PTR goes up again and they've cleared it all and people want it up again, I'll do that as well. But hey, Ducky. Yeah, sorry. Excuse me. Like a hair. Yeah, my hours aren't the best for everybody. But, you know, that's why I archive all the videos. For those that can't get here during the live show, you can always catch it at your own convenience, either via the highlights page on my Twitch channel, or you can just go to the YouTube videos. One handy thing about the YouTube videos, I do have them according to playlist. I have the house tours separated off on their own playlist. I mean, there's like one playlist is like everything, and then I have one specifically for the house tours because I know a lot of people really focus on those mostly, which is fine. You know, I know my general yabba isn't for everybody. Yeah, Bones and I think Maddie too. They both work during this time. So, good morning, Poi. I was just saying for those of you that are just joining in that Celery Greenleaf's plot is on the PTR. That makes it accessible to anybody that is on NA side or maybe even on. Well, yeah, it's still Exile, but it might be easier for people to strike up an Exile character on the PTR than it is on the regular realms, so you don't have to worry about leveling up at all. Yeah, the next thing I want to mention is there is a, it's not really housing related, but I wanted to mention anyway for anyone that hasn't noticed. There is a Arctera PTR focus test this afternoon, well, evening for us. It is set to start at, let me get these numbers right, 10:30 a.m. PDT time, which is, I believe, 6:30 p.m. CET time. I don't know for how long that runs. I think it's a couple hours, but it might be longer. But it's like just a short window. And they're specifically looking for some 20-man content testing, but So I don't know if it's only if you do that, but supposedly if you log in during this focus test and help, you'll get an exclusive PTR title called ARC Tester. So if you're a title collector and you want something a little extra special, kind of ringing in the new incoming content drop, then you might want to try and squeeze that out. Like I said, it starts at 10:30 a.m. PDT, 6:30 p.m. CET. So it's evening for us. It's actually kind of like prime time for EU, I think. But yeah, so that's the main two things. The other thing is I do apologize for not streaming yesterday. My husband has been sick since the weekend. Apparently, a coworker of his was sick last week, and kind of, how that goes. They passed it on to him, and he's been. It's kind of like a flu kind of thing, but it's really more focused in the throat and in the lungs. And so I didn't get much sleep yesterday evening, or the evening before, and I think I got a total of like 2 hours. And um, and plus, on top of that, I do warn you, I may start coughing myself because I'm kind of like trying to come down with it. So I just was kind of not good video material yesterday. I was like just running on a couple hours sleep and feeling really lousy because it kind of starts with, all your joints are aching and you're tired. And most of the day yesterday I slept. What time I didn't sleep, I was, of course, glued to the television because, for those of you that aren't aware, I do live in Belgium. And while what went on yesterday didn't directly affect myself or my family here, it was still kind of, close enough where it really just kind of a little bit of a shock. You have sympathy for those directly affected, and it makes you a little nervous. I have never been fond of airports and stuff anyway, because I don't like, lots of people and the claustrophobia that kind of comes with that. But I have been to that airport in the past, and so yeah, it was kind of a shocker to see. And so what little bit of time that I didn't sleep yesterday, that's what I was doing. I was watching the news and keeping up on that. But I appreciate those that messaged me or PM'd me asking if we were okay. Yes, we are. Just suffering from the sniffles, which seems like nothing in comparison to those that are having to deal with the ramifications of what happened yesterday. But yeah, so that's that. Well, I appreciate you toughing it out, Ducky. I do. And hey, Maddie, good morning. I'm glad you could join us. And thank you, by the way, for that heads up over the plot. I haven't had a look at it, but it is noted down. The name is not familiar, and I checked all my lists. I didn't have it, so it was a good catch. So definitely, it's now on my radar. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I tend to just randomly pick houses on my own, but I do have some folks that are kind enough to kind of, as they're doing their own random visiting, they come across homes. If they're not sure if I've seen it or not, and they think it might be something I'd like to show, or at least, kind of visit or whatever myself, they let me know about it, and I appreciate that. Really, especially if anyone's on Dominion side, it is getting tougher and tougher to find new places to look at. I did manage to come up with 5 for this week, so yay, but it's one of those things where I guess it just shows a little more about the population difference, I guess, or maybe, I don't know, it's probably a combination of population, people that actually engage in housing, and those that actually have their homes open to the public. and all number of factors. But whatever it is, or combination of whatever it is, I just don't come across as many new homes on Dominion side as I do on Exile. So if you run across one or are in the works of building one yourself, be sure and let me know so I can keep that on my head. Anyway, so Dominion house tours. We got several to go through today. Don't want to dawdle too long because there is a maintenance coming up. Normally it's around 1 p.m. my time, but I think it's an hour earlier today because they're going under some hardware maintenance, so it's going to be a little bit of extended. I don't know if it's, I guess it's just normal hardware checkup stuff that they do every now and then, so it's a little extended, so don't want to dawdle too long. So as you'll see, I am on the Dominion side, and I'm already kind of up somewhere. I wanted to get here. Oh no. Oh crud. This is going to be bad. Hold on a minute. I knew that was going to happen. I just knew it. Whoops. This is going to be awful because I purposely got it set up there and I got to talking too much. So this is, I was trying to save us the time of not watching me bounce around and fall and die, because you have to actually ride the tornado thing up into this plot. But you're going to have to watch it anyway, so sorry about that. Anyway, this is, let me see if I say it right, Rhea 8th Gen. And this is a good example of being able to, incorporate certain types of fab kits into, like, there's people that use like the low grav pads as like elevator type of effects. And this one just uses the tornado. So you can see on the ground, there's really not a whole lot. It's just like a little bit of rubble. And see if I can get a good, well, wait a minute, let me switch the thing back so you guys can see. Anyway, this is what it looks like from below. And I was trying to be all smart and get myself set up so you didn't have to watch me jump poorly. Yeah, sorry, I was a little slow. It's not like you're missing anything really. I'm just going to be bouncing around again. So hold on. I hate this bit. It's really tough. If I get it on the first try, I will be amazed. But it took me like 6 tries this morning to get up there. Ooh. Oh well, that's impressive because normally I am not that good at the jumping. Okay, we're back where we were. Whew, gosh. Anyway, they decided to use the what's it called? The Whirlwind Fab Kit, I think it is. It comes with that little challenge where you gather the crystals, and that's your access up to this floating island type of thing. Now we've seen lots of floating islands lately. I think the last 2 or 3 house tours episodes. We've come across several floating island types. Now the others, they got a little fancy with covering the base of the ground so that you can't see it. It looks like it's in the sky, but this is what most people deal with is, you see the ground, but they've got this bit up above. And it's called Eldon Laputa, or Laputa. I don't know how to pronounce it. RP. So I presume that they come here for little meetings or, I don't know, sacrifices or something. But it's really niftily built. It's got an interesting design. It's kind of like a ruins again. Like I said, you see a lot of, even the trees are fallen. Some of the stones are on the ground. Well, that's how it is. There was another plot that I went to a few weeks ago I worked and worked and worked to get up to the tip top of whatever they had, and there was absolutely nothing there. It's kind of disappointing, but you got to be proud of yourself if you eventually make it. But they know I'm horrible at this jumping stuff. So I'm pretty amazed I made it on the first try because it actually took me like 7 to get there earlier when I was trying to prep for the show. And I was like, oh no, I've been disconnected. I wanted to do it all again. So anyway, you can see they've utilized several different types of stones. They use the snow-covered ones for the walkway kind of jumpy path. And then it looks like the gray, it could be the sandstone. It's kind of hard to tell in the lighting, but it's one of the two new ones. And they've just used it to create this really interesting little design pathway kind of thing. So you can see that there's little connector bridges. They've got overgrowth to kind of give it that not dilapidated, but you know, it's like it's been here for a while. You know, it's kind of gotten mossied up and everything. No, don't do that because if anything, I've probably avoided most of the jumping maze puzzle kind of plots, especially because I'm so horrible at them because it would be not a very good showcase because I couldn't do it. Unless there have been like one or two in the past that when they make a jumping puzzle, they also have like cheat kind of paths where if you fall, then you can just kind of use those. And if they had that, then you know, yeah, sure, I can do that one. But to actually have me try and do the puzzle, that would be so cruel. Um, Anyway, so the stone's mostly for the base. They're using these, I don't know which mangroves in particular it is, but several of them just wadded up in this middle, and that's where you get the roots coming out. And that's like the core of this little structure that they've got. And they've got the, you know, expected Elden touches. These are the stones from Alpha Sanctum that you can get a hold of if you complete that one. These kind of, I don't know, it almost seems like benches to me, little rocky benches that you can sit. And like I said, there's all these little connector bridges. So it kind of stops, like it's broken off where it should have joined here. But then it's on a different level, so maybe it was never meant to be joined. Um, but then you have these little bridges that you can walk. Thankfully, I don't have too much more jumping to contend with. Notice they've added grass patches, lots of it to kind of make it look all, again, like it's been here a while. It's got its own, it's like a chunk of earth come up from this area and it's been lifted up. Yes, I did, Duck. I never have actually toured it on I don't think so anyway. I can't recall because in the beginning I mainly toured homes. I kind of focused on those that hadn't already had a video made of them. And if I remember right, it was either Destinia or the builder themselves that posted a video of the Mario plot and a few others that I probably haven't toured. Um, but yeah, is a fun place. And I actually did do it. I think I made it through twice. Amazingly enough. But yeah, uh, those kind of ones, they're less horrible, I think. There are some that are super tricky. They'll like purposely make things like super tiny, so you only have a little bit of there's like no room for error. And those kind are really bad. I just end up giving up. Now there is a little building structure here, but I'm going to show it from this side first. So you can see just different sizes of the stones. They've got them layered, some as little steps. See this again, this looks like a little bench kind of thing. Nice use of the overgrowth to kind of liven it up, but just look at the way they've made it. Is it the is it called a mango tree or is it massive mangrove? Is that what you mean? I don't think it's a mango. That's that fruit one, isn't it? I don't know. And then you can see, um, again, they just chose a weird design. It's kind of like partial arcs around, and you can see there's this little. It looks almost like a tiny castle that's here. Now, I will say I went exploring around in these roots and everything, and it's basically just there's a hole there. So if you go too far in, you just fall right through to the middle. I've done that several times. Um, he renamed it to Mango. They should make some more fruit trees, to be honest. But see how this looks like it used to be a bridge here to join that, and it's been just broken off. So again, they've made it, look like it was really something in the beginning, and it's just been kind of abandoned. Now, I haven't tried, I don't know what happens when you go down the middle of these, and I'm being very careful about walking along these curved stones, but there's like some water, and I don't know if it's solid there or if I would go straight through it. I'll try that in a little bit because I don't know if there's anything in there, but there's water actually pouring down inside there, like little wells. And again, it's just the stones, some grass, bits of the uh, weeping cup patches, and then the overgrowth to kind of just that's a lot of stones. But nicely done. I like the way it is. And of course, the NPCs help. We do have the new Elden little bots and stuff that you can get a hold of. Okay, let me see if I can make it around this one. Because I've fallen off of these too. Because just the way that the stones are set, it pushes me off the side. Ah, I'm gonna so not make it. And then this is the last one out here. And it's got a little extra, some crystals and stuff. Dominion is now called Domino's. Well, they'd be pretty tasty then, because that used to be one of my favorite pizza joints, Domino's. I like their cracker crust pizza. Well, it could be. Maybe they expressly made it small, but I was too chicken to try it the last time I was here. Because it took, like I said, it takes me forever normally to get it up to this part, and so I didn't want to fall. So yeah, if you come around to the little, I don't know what it's called, the little castle part, that's what it looks like. It's just looks like orange curved walls, an arch, a floor, and then they're using the Datascape windows again to help tie in that Elden decor. I mean, they've got all of the statues and the shrines and things. Um, this one's even knocked over. Like I said, it's like it's a little bit of a ruin. And if you go inside this one, up with the dome there, then you come up on this little kind of, I guess it's another shrine type of thing. They've got some Elden bits, and then the what do you call those? The data cubes, and it's just in this little cave of the roots, best I can call it, and that's it. And while it seems really simple, I really love the thought that went into just designing it, making it a little, tricky to get around. Even though it's not my kind of tricky that I like, I think a lot of people would really enjoy it. And this would be, since it is designated as an RP plot, and even if it wasn't, it would be great to set up like maybe a little guild expedition that you're searching for some kind of Elden artifact, and someone discovers this floating island, and you come here and just do some kind of a little story thing, a little quick thing. So let's see if we can get inside one of these. I'll probably fall through, but or fall off as I'm trying to get up there. Okay. So yeah, it's just looks like it's got a solid bottom. Just a pool of water. Now I'm just stuck inside it. Ooh, I'm out. But yeah, I thought it was an interesting, I mean, you don't see this all the time. Usually we get the same, space ports and bars and uh, things like that. And it's always fun to come across one of these that has a little bit of an interesting twist to it. And of course, it's always fun to see how people incorporate the fab kits using the way that they work in a way that kind of, I don't know, makes it a little different for your plot. It kind of makes it interactive. Now there is a bunker house here. It's hidden right under the rock. If you get on the rock, your little, what do you call it, interactive button pops up. I don't recall if there's anything in it. Yeah, it's empty. But, there's potential. Maybe they'll have some kind of an underground Elden facility that is also there. Who knows? Still a fun idea. And it might spur some ideas. I'm not even going to get into that discussion, you guys. I'll just leave that between you all. So that is Elden Laputa or Laputa RP by Araya 8th Gen. I think that's how it's called. It's spelt that way anyway, like 8th generation, something like that. So on to the next one. This one is by, gosh, you guys' names are so funny. Nianhaya, Silmar, Nianhaya, something like that. Silmar, and it's called Iron Nest, and to me, it's basically like a base, some kind of a base, or a spaceport or something. And at first blush, it kind of looks like every other one that you come across, but there are some interesting details. I like this little thing. It almost looks like they're trying to show that this portal just kind of takes you somewhere. It's like a little cone portal. Maybe it shrinks you down. Maybe it's supposed to be some kind of a ray that they're shooting the asteroids with. I don't know. Yeah, there's still that big discussion. In fact, I think you have until the 30th of March to get in on that Connect discussion about taking down the barriers. A lot of people I think, are confused about that though, because there are some that are saying that we have to have the factions that they don't want to play with the opposing faction, and that's not really what I think they're talking about. I think what they're talking about is removing restrictions as to who you can group with and things like that. So that doesn't mean we're like removing exiles and dominion. There's still going to be that friction, that conflict there. But for those that need that extra boost for group queues, being allowed to group with opposing faction for those efforts, I think would be very beneficial. So here you have the entrance to the base. You can see they've got like a little check-in security center. Got some little custom, I guess those are called turrets. These are called turrets themselves, but I'm talking about the construction where they've got it like little slits where the guns would poke through. See if I can see it better from this side. Yeah, so you can see the guns here, and they just got those little gaps all around. It's mostly just reinforced barriers for the walls. But like, look at this one. It's one of the briefcases being used as a little barrier as well. We got the squid tower here being used as another kind of like a little turret tower. Lots of turrets of all varieties, cannons and things. So they're very fortified on this little entrance. Now, let's see, we're just going to go around the side. This is a fab kit here. I don't remember what it's called. Might be the generator fab kit. I'm not really sure. I'm really bad about remembering the fab kit names because I don't really use them myself a lot. Like, I'm not even, I don't know if that's a fab kit or if that's just an item. A lot of these mechanical bits I don't use. I know that's like supposed to be, I think it's one of the defaced water towers, and they've just covered it with a Cassian tube to make it look a little different. Kind of hard to see from down here. Yeah, it looks like one of the defaced water towers, and they just dressed it up a little bit. So that's something you can use an existing item, just apply one little thing to kind of change it, the look of it, and that makes it pretty special. Again, lots of the reinforced barrier things going on for most of the building construction. I know this is a fab kit. Again, I don't know what one it's called. Same way with this one with the purple. I think it's the Marauder thingy. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But they've got this all set up as like where all the ships come. So they got all sorts of the Marauder landing platforms. So that each one, it almost looks like a conveyor belt system where they've got all these little ships, and it's just like, you know, they come in, land, empty out, next one, land, empty out. Yeah, exactly, Ducky. That's one of the reasons I've never been clever at being able to incorporate them smoothly into any of my builds. Um, it, I don't know. I think it takes a different kind of approach to it, and I just don't have the imagination for it. I admire those that find creative ways, like the pet shop that you're talking about. But uh, I'm just like, we've seen ones where they had the kiddie pool fab kit, and they've just covered everything up except the pool, and it looks like a little, like a perfect little sauna, you know, or jacuzzi or something. Who would have thought, you know, to be able to cover it all up like that? It makes sense that you can, and it works really well, but I'm just, all the good stuff's been spoken for. I don't know. I can't think of anything new or clever to bring to it. So unless I do, I probably won't touch it. I mean, I've seen people do the bank, actually build a bank around it and have it all set up, and it just looks natural, like it comes that way. But I don't know. It's, I think the closest I've come is using the fab kits that are like the little mini houses, covering up all of those and just using the door to access, and that's about as crafty as I can be. So let me go inside this building. I know there's some kind of access somewhere. Where is that thing? This, I think, is a ship they've put together themselves. It looks like it's got all these like little clamps, because those are briefcases for the base. I don't know what this piece is. I don't know if it's a Dominion fence post or something, but this is they've added these extra pieces onto the house, I think, because those are like the skinny waisted barrels there. Um, I think those are some of the exhausts that you can get. So they've like, what do you call it? They pimped their piglet house. Now some of it I think is actually just some of the different upgrades you can do for it. It's not really an upgrade, but you know how like you can change the front door on your house or the roofing. There's options for that for the piglet as well. But I think they've added a lot of extra pieces. Because, like I said, I can see some of those as being some from the ship hand chase event kind of thing. We'll go inside there later. Just gonna take a visit into this fab kit that's been extended. And like the staircase, it's just the great metal shelves just rolled up along to make that spiral. The little lockers are airtight containers. Yeah, I've heard people talk about that. I just haven't used them. I guess once I stopped using the fab kits, I just don't even bother experimenting with them all that much. Because one of the things about using fab kits for sure, you have to plan your plot, really kind of already have a general idea where everything's going to go and where it needs to be. And I don't quite work that way, if that makes sense, because I don't think that far in advance. Because a lot of times I'll build something and then later I go, I need to move that over here. And maybe with Katya's reconstruct feature, that could become easier for me, but I just haven't given it a shot. Maybe that'll be something I will try later. Here's a little contraption they've got. It reminds me of those where the scientist has it looks like it's little holes where the hands go in, but these are just using the little controllers for the arms. And so it's in a controlled space, and so they've got this blob of strain in there, but they've built it up using a variety of items, it's like a desk. On the sides are the red moon vents, and the backing, I believe, is another one of those metal briefcase decor sticking in there. That's a little vent tank on the side, and of course the curved glass to enclose it. Just a fun little notice. A lot of people, when they set up their little labs and stuff, they don't bother connecting things. I have a bad habit of that when I do it. But all these little wires really help sell the idea that, like, this generator is powering all of these little bits, the pods and the tanks and everything. This one looks like he's, I don't know, studying some exonite bits, chopping off little parts. Excuse me. I forgot to bring my water up with me. Yeah, that's kind of how I've been, Ducky. Is I think I've got the haunted house one I'm using for the beach house in the plaza. I don't know. I tried doing it before and I never could come up with a clever way of doing it, so I just stopped using them. So here's like a little container lab. Some are the moving tanks, and you can see the problem with that is that the object inside doesn't bounce with it. Probably the only item I can think of that might work for that kind of thing is like the what's that? The little red bouncy piece of something that we got. I can't even recall the name off the top of my head. It's like a little purple rotating stone, and it bounces. But I don't think it bounces at the same speed, so that might look a little weird too. Look at that thing go. Just boing, 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 boing. And of course, these have the bubbles. And they've added in the red moon vent just to change it up. Because I don't think that's there originally. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Again, these are the pressure dividers, I think, for these doors. And it's supposed to look like they slide together or kind of crisscross. Welcome back, Bones. So that's like the extension to this fab kit thing that they've got going over here on this side. I don't know if this is like the generator fab kit. There's that bouncy thing. that I don't remember what it's called, but that's the only one that I know of that kind of has the up and down. But I think it goes a little faster than the tanks do. But they've just kind of boxed it in and added to it to make it look like this little, well, little facility type of thing. Trying to see, just want to see how the top looks. Here's where we were looking at the tanks, and they have it kind of like it's like a ventilation system. Again, with the red moon vents. A little weird thing sticking up there. Okay, if we go on to the other side, where all these ships are, you'll notice that there's some these little catwalks going on. And you access that here. And it's just a combination of curved walls. They've also used some staircase landings for part of it. And of course, in bits, they've got the curved glass. And notice how they've kind of bypassed how you can't actually join them perfectly. You just kind of get it so that it's closed, but it's, you know, you can see that there's a little bit of a like an overlap. But it doesn't really hurt too much. And they even threw in the little vents again for like air, I guess. Not that it's specifically enclosed or anything. So that gives you a little access to each of these. It's just hover park piece, the little floor, and then the grates again to make these little connectors. I've got it there and here. Using the vault hatch, the little faux hatch thing as the little end there. I feel a sneeze coming on. I'm trying to hold it back. Again, using the same thing. You got all these little connected sections. I like the idea of it. It might not be perfect, you know, because here you have all that enclosed and then it's open right here. So it's not like there's like some kind of a barrier or anything you have to go through before you hit the open air, but I like the idea behind it. Sometimes logic just has to be put on the back burner. You don't have to be perfectly accurate or sensible about it because, you know, you're just aiming for a specific kind of look. And these little catwalks are nice, especially for those that do a lot of the spaceport type of things. This could be some good ideas for you. Having the solid walk and then the open top for viewing. So this one leads to a little control room. This is where I presume they're like the airport control. So this is a spaceport control. They're you know, handling all the traffic that comes in and out, make sure nobody crashes into each other, that kind of thing. So you have these little workstations, and these it's a combination of items. Again, you got the Chua chair, then you have the exile sign, the exile, I think it's the hanging wall monitor, the ergonomics keyboard. It's all just kind of, and they made them so that, you know, you can tell it's supposed to be multiple stations. I like how they're using the little Chua portrait as like a, what do you call them, a PDA or something, like another little tablet, but a different version. And then over here, you have like their little holographic simulation of flights coming in and out, those that are parked and others that are coming in. Yeah, it's not actual hologram ships, but you get the idea that that's what it's supposed to be. So I like the concept. Excuse me. I'm really trying to avoid the coughing because we all know how long it took me to get rid of the last cough I got a hold of. I think it was well over 3 or 4 months before I got rid of that thing. Now I'm not really like zooming in on all the ships because most of them are come as is. They're just the different varieties that you get from. I think most of them are from the ship hands themselves. You get that random soul-bound ship decor, whether it be the exiled transporters or the Dominion ships, or I think there's even Ichthian versions and things like that. Because they don't really do anything extra to them. But I do know that there are a few. I think I'm walking out the right way. Here we go. There are a few that look like they have been tampered with. Not tampered as in messed up, but added to. Like this one here. That might just be wholly constructed by themselves. It's hard to tell from this distance, but excuse me, I feel like I'm losing my voice. But yeah, it looks kind of made up itself. We'll take a closer look here in a minute. I'm just gonna take a peek inside. Sometimes people will add things in here that don't normally exist in it early. Again, a lot of little interesting bits that they put together themselves. Here's a little station. Looks home crafted. You've got the metal briefcase. You've got the, I think it's the Elden Barrier thing, or it could be Exile. I don't know. They've got a rug, and then the maintenance platform for the base of it. There's a Tua desk, generator fan, another. I guess that's the Tua table, and that's the desk. I don't know. But this whole little workstation here. These little, I don't know what they're called, little bunkers or something. I like these. They're faux. You can actually go in them, but I like how they look. I've seen several versions of these, and this is a nice, it's simplified, but you know, you kind of recognize what it is. It's just some domes, the Cassian domes for each end, with the Cassian curved wall. It could be a cylinder too, it's either or. This is the curved wall for the little awning, and then you're using a Cassian floor for the little bit underneath, and then the door is the suitcase, because it already comes with like a little handle hatch thing, and there you go. Looks like the windows and everything. So you see how the suitcase is used in a variety of ways on this particular plot. I find that fun. I mean, here they are for the base of that other thing, and then they're using it as doors over there. This way it's a little base of a station for this little doodad. It's all sorts of ways. Excuse me. And I also like how they're keeping things pretty good on scale wise. All of these boxes don't look too huge. I think most people would just kind of put one or two inside the container, and they've actually got quite a few different size boxes. Looks a little more realistic. Now, to get to this ship here and to this platform bit up above, you have to use this, and I am probably going to really mess it up, but it's not far enough. Let me try the middle one. That's not far enough either. I'm horrible at these, people. This is like my nightmare. I like that they got the little mattresses for cushions for the landing. Yeah, tennis courts. That's another thing that it did look like, because it reminds me of the one that's on the Simpsons game. Their tennis court, I think, is shaped like that. It could be any number of things, though. An old hangar. That's the word I'm looking for. Hangar. Bunkers. I don't know. It could be any number of things. So here we have this little. I think of it as like a park. It's like a floating park. They've got all these different platforms. Some are hover part pieces. This one is a combination of metal platforms with exile floors. There's some that are covered in grass to kind of look like they're just little bits of ground that's been lifted up. The walkways joining each little bit. Some are boardwalk pieces, like here. Others are the actual boarding ramps with a little bit of staircase landings covering those. And then, of course, you got the decking railing and everything. So it's like a little floating park above this spaceport thing. So here you have the little bar area. And I like how they're using this oversized, I think it's like one of those control panels, to make it look like a little ordering window or something. Hey, Sanos. Sorry if I'm saying your names wrong. I look at a name and I just kind of sound it out as I think it would be. If it's not right, my apologies. But thank you for joining. So let's see, we'll just go around this way, I guess. So over here is like a little secluded couples eating spot. You got this little grill. He's grilling a little steak, and got the little chilling champagne in the bucket. And so for like a little personal private dinner for two, candlelit and everything. Notice they've added the little snowflower in the pot that comes with the little grass. Just little things like that can really go a long way in helping change things up. Here we have, let me slow him down. Didn't realize I was running really fast with him. Here we have the park. So you've got a swing set, really cute, using little benches so you could, actually sit on it. He's a little kind of off of it. I think it's mostly to do with the size, but I like the idea of using the benches as the seats for the swings so that you can actually kind of make it interactive. So that's pretty fun. The rest of it is just hanging chains and then the 2x4s making up the main part of the construction. Again, simple but very effective. I mean, there's no mistaking that that's a swing set. And yes, the view is quite lovely. Thankfully, it's not a moving sky. We have come across a few. I think it was the week before last. It might have been last week, but I think it was the week before last where I nearly got sick enough to where I might have had to stop the stream because I was getting so queasy. So yeah, be forgiving to your visitors. Try not to use the really dizzying skies if you can help it. So in the middle of this park, you have this lovely little pond slash waterfall, rock waterfall kind of thing going on. Very calming looking. Again, they're using lots of grass. They're using the Draken floors, so you have little stones popping through. And then primarily the stepping stones that you get from the Starcom Basin rep vendor. Really cute. A little bit of plants, different types of plants, nothing spectacular. A little bit of overgrowth on the fountain itself. And notice they're using shrunk down trees as well for some of that. Just an odd clumping of rocks, and I don't know, there's nothing uniform about it, and that's what kind of makes it look pretty. It just looks like a little natural fountain, like a natural fountain type of thing. Notice how the marking on the metal platform that's underneath just kind of fits perfectly as if it's the drain for the water. Oops, that's stuck on the stones there. So if you come along on this side, you have this little WildStar shrine, again using the floating stones that you get from the Alpha Sanctum instance. Yeah, the moving skies, they're horrible for me. Sadly, if I come across a plot, typically if I notice that it straight away got one of those, I just kind of leave it because I don't want to make myself sick. Now, I want to bring you guys some of the best homes and stuff, but not at the price of my own well-being because it will be no fun. I mean, you guys saw how it was the last time. I was like actually having to look away from the screen and just kind of move blindly because it was so bad. Thankfully, most of it was contained, so you didn't see it until you got those little glimpses out the window, but those little glimpses was enough to really turn my stomach. So on this part of the little park, it's a little more overgrown. Got the grass is a little bit higher, but it has these little stepping stone kind of bits, although they're not stone, they're little wood. But almost a little shiny, a little jungly feeling that you got a little bit of the jungle growing in there for you. And then you come up on this one, and it's like it's almost like a museum kind of thing because I see these here and there. Like you punch it and it tells you about where maybe the plant life comes from, or it gives you a story about something that happened in the area that this is supposed to represent, something like that. Maybe it talks about the view that you see from where you are. I don't know. I'm just making it up. I've only been to Rhea 8th gens, and now we're on Nianhia. I can't even say the names right. Nianhia Silmar's place. This is just the second one that we visited. But glad you could join us, even if you're just listening in, Nelia. Excuse me. So it's kind of like, a little, like a learning journey when you come through this little park. Let's see, I think this is, yeah, see, here's another one. So, you got this little seating area. Maybe you can have a meeting here, but it also maybe tells you, like, I don't know, the history of the Orin or something, since it's kind of Orin-y with all of this the decor that they're using. Here's another one here. Maybe it tells you about the fountain that you see. Maybe its origins, who put it together, where it come from, what its meaning is, that kind of thing. Or maybe just the type of plants that are used. Who knows? But it gives me that kind of like a museum feel as well, because it has these little. Here's another one here. Maybe it's just to control the habitat that's up here. It could be any number of things. It's part of the fun when you come to a house and you see these things and you think, what's the purpose of that? What's that for? Sometimes it's fun to kind of guess at the use. Other times it's more obvious. But I like how things can be kind of interpreted sometimes. It's like a work of art. A house is kind of like a work of art. Okay, I'm hoping I don't fall. I don't know if there's anything up there. I'm almost leery of trying it, but I may die here. Makes me so nervous. This is that canopy plant that you can get. Oops. Yeah, I don't think there's anything up here. But it's really fun for Orin themed homes because you can kind of make it look like it gives you extra little ways of kind of traveling. You don't always have to build ramps. You can just use the kind of custom ramp that's already on there. Let's see. Have I been to all of the park places? Yeah, we're back at the bar here. I think we've gotten it all. Just double check. Yeah, that was the park, the fountain. I think that was it. Just noticed they've got like these little tanks on the edge of this one here. Just wondered why. Kind of hard to show it. See how they got wires and things hanging from the bottom and these little tanks and stuff connected? Same way here. I guess that's supposed to represent the water source that would keep these plants alive up here. That's my guess. Sorry guys if you're having trouble with it. As far as I can tell, it's still going okay. It's just not our morning. First I fall off, well, I disconnect, and then I have to spend my time jumping. Okay, see if I can just get to the ship from here. Yeah. So this is the custom ship that they've built. Now, I don't know if I can tell you what all pieces are in here. We're looking at it from the outside first. I know those are like the pressure dividers. It looks like some maintenance platforms for this part here. These are some of the Marauder monitors, I think. Reinforced walls here. Those are the charming bars, the one I always call the fancy ones. We've got the, I don't know what this one is, but this is that metallic briefcase. We've got, this is, I think it's a Dominion fence post. Curved wall or two. That's the golden arrow. Again, some more pressure dividers for these turret gun type things. And those are, what are those things? I think those are zap pistols for the guns. And the very front, I think, is a Dominion emblem thing. I don't know the names of most of these. I don't use a lot of the Dominion decor, so. The bottoms of the turrets are, of course, the Red Moon vents. Again, the golden arrows for there. Just trying to see what else I can see here. I don't know what kind of engine parts those are all. It might be the same. These are the smaller and these are bigger, and then this different types of engine bits. So let's see if we can land on the entrance pad here. Because you can actually go inside the ship, so. So here's the belly of the ship. You can see they've got a lot of different little mechanical bits. There's like the generator thing, goes round and round, and it has the red moon vent on one end, and then it's enclosed in glass. We got the actual generator item, and then just added a few things on there. Some pods, some of the wall generators. I see a ship hand locker there. And then I guess this is the where they load in the missiles or whatever. So they got these little containers stuck in. Nice use of the little hatch door. And clever incorporation of the charming bar, using that arch of it as the holder for the bombs themselves. It just makes it look like they did it on purpose. Have fun, Nilia. I think that's one of the Eldon columns or rods or something. It's one of those that's got the red goop, and there's a green version. If you size it up big enough, you can actually walk inside that red part. I'm surprised somebody hasn't used it in that way, but most of them just have it something like that. The walkway's just the Cassian pillar with the metal grates as like the railing for it. So then you enter the actual, I guess this would be the cockpit of it. Now this is the inside, so these are those monitors. We saw the backs of them on the exterior, but you can see how they're being used as kind of like virtual windows to keep track of where you are. I like the captain's seat here. He's got the little nautical wheel. That's to a hot heat rod fireplace back behind there. Again, the briefcases, lots and lots of briefcases in this plot. Not too fancy, but very nice. I like how they've managed to make the little opening here with those combinations of the maintenance platforms. There we go. I remember the name eventually. I like how it opens up, and it's a nice little space. Works really well. And make a good doorway, that shape. Anyway, I think the last thing we have to visit is the interior of the Piglet. So I'm going to dive off here. Again, like I said, they've kind of blinged it up with some extra bits. I think some of it comes as a extra bit that you can actually, from the remodel options. But these extra things, these little brackets and some of the stuff on the back definitely are added on. But the interior just shows you that even a little spaceship. Hey Bronco, which plot would that be? I have many plots. If you're talking about my main, that would be the WildStar Sky Plaza. I don't know if I have a specific single video of it per se. I may. I haven't done one of the Easter plot, if that's the one you're talking about. I don't know. I've got so many. You just have to go through. I tend to, if I do a video just exclusively of my own plot, it usually has the name of the plot in the title, so you just have to kind of search through. But I tend not to do too many videos of my own stuff other than what I'm just working on, because these Wednesday house tours is I dedicate that to other people's homes. So these aren't my homes. These are others. Because I like showing other people's builds and what they can do. Anyway, the interior of this one is just kind of shows you that even a spaceship can be kind of dressed up a little bit. So here you have the living room. They got their table, the TV, which is a giant size Dominion screen. They got the mini-me sitting there watching TV. But I like the little kitchen area. You've got the expected, the bar, all the little trophies and stuff. But they took some time with the kitchen. It's a little high for me, but I like the simplicity of the countertop and space and everything. They've even kind of given it a little bit of a design. For someone that's just looking for something really basic, they're not too fancy, not too many pieces. This is just one metal-edged, I guess it'd be the short, it might be the 2x4, but I think it's the shorter one. And then it's just a few Oran floors, both for the topping and for the decoration on the front. Just cute, simple, but it just kind of helps add a little character to this little particular home. The fridge is just a combination of airtight tanks and then the Merg dynamite for the handles. Notice they sandwiched two of the tank airtight containers for the bottom to kind of give that extend a bit, and then the freezer is just the one. Yeah, all of the pots that we showcase on this broadcast, these Wednesday tours, they're all at the time of showing them are public. There have been some in the past that I have recorded that have since gone private. So, unfortunate if they close it off. Many of them have changed their themes since we've shown them. But yeah, I aim for showcasing public homes. That way, if you want an up-close view, then you're welcome to do it. Just a lot of people don't have the time. The time that they spend in game, they usually do it, leveling up their own characters. And for people like, that want to, have a few minutes while they're at work or don't have access to their game but do have access to the internet, this is a chance for them to kind of see things that they normally wouldn't get a chance to see. All of the plots that I kind of advertise for myself, most of those are public. There are some like the Proto-Toys Incorporated that Olivar mentions. It doesn't exist anymore, so you can't actually go visit it, but when it was live, it was visitable. I just don't really promote those too much on my channel. I kind of do that once I've finished one and we kind of take a look, and that's about it. Because I think I bore people anyway with just getting to the building process. Getting through that, if you can manage that, you don't have to suffer through the rest. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you could probably just Google it. Just say Carrot Proto-Toys Incorporated, and you should be able to do that. Yeah, I kind of blocked it off because we have had a few people in the past link some bad stuff, and I kind of avoided that. I've tried giving the rights to some of my regulars to be able to post it, and for some reason it still doesn't work for them. So my apologies on that. But yeah, it's archived on my YouTube channel and on the highlights on Twitch, so you should be able to get to it. But just look up Proto-Toys Incorporated if that's the one you're looking for. Just Google it. Again, it's all pretty standard in here. There's not too much custom, but I like that, even a little piglet house can be made into a homely kind of little bit. The bathroom I really like, and of course the staircase too. They took a lot of care in putting all these 2x4s and the staircase landings. It's all very smooth. Nothing looks out of alignment too much. And then the bathroom, it's all glass. Even the door, I mean, you can see the door here. And they're using a combination of a cylinder and the Merv Dynamite for the handles. I really like the way that looks for the door there. The tub is nice. It's a combination of archways, curved walls, and floors. They got the little drain down there in the bottom. The faucet they did themselves. It's just curved bits, cylinder bits. They even show you how it would turn with the little handle. Okay, I'm glad. The Merv Dynamite for the little handles there. If you can see past my Chewa's ears bouncing around there. I like the Exonite wall as what I would presume to be like a bar of soap. It could be it's representing a towel, but it looks like a bar of soap to me. Now, I'm not sure what they're using for the little faucets here. It's top of one of the tanks, I think, or the little bits for the tank. It could be something else. If one of you know the name of that, be sure and let me know. But The showerhead itself is part of one of those little model ships. I don't remember what one offhand it is, um, but it's a bronze one, and it's got that little weird bit on the bottom, and they're using that as the showerhead. Yeah, they're really nice. It's just when you make it yourself like that, that's, you know, extra decor. But here in this, the way they've built most of it, they can get away with these extra little details here. If you're wondering what the little connector is, it looks like Cassian pillars and then Oran walls for the little connector between the two. And here they've even, you know, got the sink built in on top of a dresser so that it connects. Kind of a clever way of doing that. You know, even in these little things, there's always little ideas that pop out. I mean, like they're using, this one is actually 3 little pictures and they've just enlarged it and set it so that you can't see the other 2, but the one is being used as the mirror above the little vanity there. It just works out nice. And notice how they got like a little access hatch, just kind of, it's faux, you can actually go up in it, but I like that they've thought about including it so that you have access to the upper part of the ship. But that just shows you that even some of the houses that you wouldn't think would have anything to offer do. That's one of the reasons why I stress, if you're using Cheetos's spreadsheet tool for visiting houses and giving them ratings and stuff, don't pay too much mind to the ratings per se, because even the unrated homes, the ones that may never get any kind of rating or votes or anything, all of the houses that are listed there have something to offer, some little tidbit that you could take away and go, that's a good idea, or I could, you know, make something similar using different items. But yes, you do, Olivar. Especially because I know you're on Dominion side. Dominion really need to give me some more homes to look at. That's your mission. Okay, so that was Neon Haya's Silmar's Iron Nest. Gosh, I'm so awful with the names. Okay, the next one, I'm gonna try it. Gyrix Gix, I think is how you pronounce it. I call it Flooded Town. I'm sure that's not what they call it. They call it VR Matrix NXLH 457. That's why I call it Flooded Town. Yes, that is exactly right. You have to get those Dominion homes up and running. Now, automatically you would want to go down the ramp and go into the house, but as you clearly see, that is not possible. But they give you a clue. They have the little arrow. It's kind of hard to see, not noticeable at first, but they have the little arrow saying over here, over here. So you see a little platform, and then another one, and then I think last time I had to use the extra boost of my mount there. And that gets you to the actual entrance of the plot. So that's why I call it the flooded town, because it looks like it's been flooded and they had to give you another way to get in. Yeah, Maddie, I have to, because otherwise, who in the world's going to remember that? This is or those that they just leave it your house or my house, or I have to give it a special name. So like Reyes was Eldon, the other one was a base. There's another one, I call it the piping place, but we'll get to that later. So here we have kind of a city type thing. I call it flooded town, flooded city, because it looks like it's not really spaceport to me, although maybe it could pass for that. Now, you guys may have to refresh my memory what these are. I think it's the bottom of uh, some bigger piece, but I don't remember what the piece was. I've seen several people use this, but not necessarily in this way. So I don't know what it is. But they have this little, if I can get up here. I just got off of my mount there, didn't I? Didn't give it time. It's like a little maze of containers, and it leads you out to some of the other city parts. But we're going to start on this sign. I like all of the little extra bits. There's, containers, little doodads sitting around. There's like here's a bucket. You know, a lot of people just leave it empty, but they put a bucket there just to throw some little interest around to keep it, I guess look a little lived in. Well, I don't know. For me, a lot of times the name of the plot uh, is like it's like looking at the cover of a book. If the cover of the book doesn't catch my eye, then I tend not to immediately go to it. So it's the catchy names that I often visit first, and then it's later when I get desperate, like on Dominion side, I start visiting the My Home, Awesome Home, you know, uh, whatever the kind of nothing here, or the one that says "Get off my lawn" or something like that. Those are the ones I save for last when I'm desperate and don't have any other places to go to. So I don't know. I think it's important that you pick a name that's both interesting and kind of tells you what to expect. I mean, like I've come across the one that's I think it's called Bikini Bottom. It has nothing to do with beaches or bikinis or anything. It's a really pretty Elden kind of park slash shrine kind of place. And it's a lovely build, but the name just doesn't quite fit. And I find that it's like a bit of a clash there. So yeah, Tiki is an awesome name. Yeah, I've been expecting maybe Katia to kind of include that, but I don't know how difficult it is. It may just be the way the system itself works on whether that's possible or not. I don't know. But it would be fun if you could search by plot name. So here we have what I presume to be some kind of like a little bar area, meeting place of some sort, clearly. And they just got different little areas set up. I don't know if this is supposed to be like a door somewhere or just a generator type thing, but I like how they've got these little homemade, kind of like homemade hookahs, I guess. They've got the tanks and then they got these little pipe bits coming off of them. And so they, just sit here and do their smoking or whatever. And here they're using the charming bars and then with the seats and everything. Oops. I like the lighting here. Let's see if I can get up here and we can see it a little better. It's just a combination of those night lights, which I hardly ever use these, probably because of the coloring. But I like how they've got them set up as kind of it's almost like a chandelier, but upside down. Yeah, exactly, Ducky. It's kind of like a big disappointment, a letdown, because you'll find these awesomely named homes. You think, wow, that's going to be really good. And because you're thinking, well, if they took the time to name it something like that, surely they've taken the time to dress the plot up. But now it's like just nothing even close, nothing even interesting. I find a lot of those what I call yard sale plots, where it just looks like they've thrown every bit of furniture out, and it's just there. Here's a few shots of the rest of the city. Like I said, I don't know if they're like completely done with this place, but I like the concept of it, and I know a lot of people do like city type of things. So looking at other people's constructions on how they divvy up the space, pardon me, here's another good view. Yeah, it almost looks like it's inside something, but not. But it's definitely flooded. In my brain, it's flooded. I don't know if this is supposed to be representative of some game or something. You know, some game world that I'm not familiar with. It could be, I don't know. But like, look at all the little. I don't know what that piece is. I think it's the bottom of like I want to say like a scanner or one of the pods or something. I don't remember what it is. See, you have some empty rooms up here where clearly they're, you know, probably going to add some more things. It's almost like a maze up here, actually. But I like the construction of it using the Chua pillars, and you got Cassian floors, and then Chua walls for all of these bits. Notice they're using the different color glass. This is the red glass. I think that's a giant Chua chair there. Here's that piece again. I don't know what that is. It's the bottom of something. I know it's the bottom of something. I just can't. I don't have the name off the top of my head. Okay, I think I just went through here. See, I'm already kind of lost in this place. Here's big spaces. Again, I wouldn't doubt, one, that they're not done with it, and two, it's very possible that they've just hit the limit and they can't fill in all of these spaces with things that they would normally want to. I know a lot of builders that build things and then with the plan that eventually if they are able to upgrade the decor limit, they will do so. I have no idea where I'm going. I've not really visited this whole plot, so I'm just kind of, wow. I think I just found the ceiling of this place. Yeah, we were inside this part looking out from below, and now we're up top. Look at all that, reinforced walls. There's a giant Merg dynamite. They've got the lamp, the gear lamps. The red moon vents. Those look like the backs of the Marauder monitors. Yeah, the Marauder displays. That's a bookcase, giant picture, bottoms of something. I can't think of the name. See you later, Olivar. Thanks for joining. It's just, I don't know. I almost feel like it's supposed to be representative of something, but I have no idea what. Here's a tube going off to somewhere now. Did I miss the entrance to the tube, or is that just the faux tube? Now I'm wondering, did I miss something? Hop on my hoverboard here. Not that it goes very fast, but that looks like, I don't know what that looks like. Looks like rain gutters, sort of. It's a strange build. Like I said, I don't know what it's supposed to be. If it's reminiscent of something, you know, we've come across others that, you know, represent like World of Warcraft. There's been, was it BioShock we've been to? A couple of like real life places like Taj Mahal and things. And sometimes when I come into places like this, I wonder, am I just clueless and don't even realize that it's meant to be something that other people would recognize, and I'm just a dork that I don't know what it is, which I'm pretty much sure that's probably the case, but I don't know. Poor ducky. Well, I don't know if I'm supposed to. Ah, crud. Let's see. I'm gonna fall into the water. I knew it. Oh, let me find how to get up out of here. See how the main house is actually under the water. Whoops. Missed that by so much. Gosh. Told you I'm really horrible at this jumping. I'm trying to find the little tube that goes to that one side. That's what my mission right now. Whoop. There we go. Okay, so we go up again, and through the door. And up. A little narrow there. Where is that? I saw it and I don't know. We already go up here? Yeah, I'm lost. This is like a little maze for me. See, the tube's right there, so I'm close, sort of. Yeah, sorry guys if I'm kind of zooming around. Okay, it's still. I'll find out I can't get to it. Yes, I can't get to it, I don't think. Yeah, I think it's right there. So I guess it's a faux tube. Oh well, I checked it for you guys. All right, so we're gonna go back down and maybe, gosh, where are we? Here we go. No, not that way. Gosh, I'm bad today. Okay, so we have the maze of these containers or whatever. I didn't notice or recall there being anything special about it other than it's just kind of helps make you kind of wander around on this area. I am so wondering what that item is. I know it's the bottom of something, but not the scanner. Something. But they use it quite a bit, and it just looks like little doorways or something that's missing. I'm not missing, but they're closed. Anyway, on this side, I call this the marketplace because this is where like all the food shops and stuff are. So this one actually has some little bits. This is like the place where you grill your kebabs. So they're using the Chua fireplace for the little heat rods to cook the meat. And you got your tacos, and they've inset the seats, the Chua stools, so it's just a cushion showing. And then if you go back here, then you've got again some more spaces and stuff that probably would be filled, but just aren't. It also could be maybe this is like a little apartment area. These are representative of doors for little living spaces or something. I have no idea what it's supposed to represent. A lot of this is just guessing. Well, thanks, guys. I do try. I mean, I have missed things in the past, and I always kick myself when someone points it out because I feel so bad afterwards, like, oh man. And in certain cases, I have been known to retour a place because I've missed, especially like if it's an entire bunker house or something, which may be the case later because I couldn't find the bunker house for that. But yeah, I do my tours in the perspective of how I've watched others do tours. Um, uh, like for me, I know a lot of people enjoy the music playing of some of the, like, see here, they're using these as like little faux doors for like living spaces. And I guess those would be like windows. It just gives a little, like it's like a little city type of thing. Anyway, when I would watch tours of others, all you'd hear the music, and I was like, I wish they would say what this is or what that is, because that was when I was really starting out with the building. I was unfamiliar with a lot of things, and I would have found that helpful, and that's why I do my tours the way I do them. Is that like a combo of tanks? I don't remember that thing having so many little doodads sticking out, and I don't think that's part of it either. I don't know. Looks like a really weird tank. But so that's why I gab so much. And I figure if somebody doesn't like me talking, they can just mute it and watch the show just by itself, and that would be good enough for them, hopefully. But yeah, I kind of like the faux this this item, whatever that cruddy thing is a really nice little solves the problem of archways and having to come up with a full-on door. They don't even bother with, handles, but that's fine. Maybe the type that goes swish and opens that way. You don't need it. Here's another one. It's just, I don't know. But it's like little things, you got the little hatch there, a little pile of bags, you got the dirty laundry hanging. Here's a little meeting place. It looks like a slum town kind of thing. Here's those homemade hookahs again. I guess maybe it was cheaper to do it this way than to get the actual lop hookahs or something. I don't know. Well, it's like when I'm touring, I have most of my sound muted. I don't hear what's going on, and like if I come across an item that I know has a sound effect, and if they have it really big, and usually if it's sized up, it means it's louder. I'll mention it, but I don't actually hear it myself because I keep my sound off. I don't know why. I just tend to do that. When I build, I don't mind the sound, but I'm waiting for someone to spell out letters with these different curved bits of uh, the hanging lights, because they have some nice curves for good letter making, I think. Let's see. I think I still need to go through here. But you can see they've got a lot of space. They've divvied it up quite a lot. Excuse me. Let's see. Just double checking that I don't miss anything. I like the little, what do you call it, the railing here. Those are hammers stuck in, and then they've just used the lights to string it along. Now, if you're wondering why that's curved there, those are big giant floor pieces, I think. two of four pieces, and the edges have that little bit of a divot on them, so it's a little slanted, and they've just kind of gone with it with the railing, so it looks a little slanted too. Okay, I keep zigzagging back and forth. Okay, that was the food place. To see, yeah, they're using all those as windows, I think, and those other pieces, the door. Yeah, sometimes I use the ambience and stuff up higher. I think it just depends on what I'm doing. I'll adjust it. Like yesterday, I was playing around, but I was also watching some of the. I was playing around yesterday evening, getting things prepared for today, and I had a video playing over here on my other screen, and had the music, and I had the sound up on the video, but every time I turned up the sound on the video, the sound here would turn up, so I had to adjust it. So it's even lower than it normally is right now. Okay, so we've kind of gotten around most of this on the bottom. Still, I need to find my way upstairs. I didn't see any way of getting up there. Did you guys notice anything that I missed? Pardon me, I'm like just being all gross today. I blame me being sick because I really am. I'm fighting fighting off a cold. I didn't notice any staircase or anything back here. Unless I'm just blind as a bat, which is very possible. Very, very possible. Let's see. I have no idea how to get up there. Other than just cheating by jumping. I am looking. You see, I don't think was I able to access it from the one place that I went to earlier. Ugh, I won't have to go through that again. I swear it's like a giant maze. I'm just gonna cheat. Well, I said I was going to, and then I missed. Let me find the stairs again. Gosh, I'm so bad at this. Let's see. Because I see there's like a little thing up here, but I don't know how to get up to it. Yeah, I do that too. Let's try that again. This is not the actual way to get over here, people. Just ignore that. I guess I was supposed to go through there and come up. I just bypassed that whole actual route. But that's the danger of me visiting your house. I'll do it all wrong. So here's like, I don't know, a VIP dining experience or something. I have no idea what this is supposed to be. But it gives a good view of the city thing. Yeah, because like this is the bar, and this is like little booths, little dining booths. Again, it could be that I've just caught them in the middle of fixing it up, or they just ran out of space, because there's a lot of items going on out here. It may not look it, but there's, I mean, look how many pieces of floor that they use just for this one wall. Rather than using one single wall piece, they've got several. And it's probably just because of how they've divvied up the floors down below. They just can't use the big ones. What's over here? Probably more empty. Yeah. Okay, so let's I like even the little bits here. They've got like chains hanging down. Um, they incorporated the pillars here to kind of make this make sense where the brackets come down from the boardwalks. Just extra support. Ugh, fall down there again. I tell you people, don't give me jumping puzzles. I will fail it every time. And this isn't even a jumping puzzle. That's what's sad. Okay, so I think we visited most everything on this side. Um, that's all pretty empty, but I like, again, I like the concept of it. So then we come out onto these little, I don't know what you call them, little floating docks. They're not actually floating because they're kind of like embedded into the ground underneath, but again, it's like another little marketplace thing. So you're here to have a little taco stand. Um, this is actually the top of the house that's here. And they just kind of joined them all up with these two pillars. Here you have a little storage area, indication that there's some bits underneath that you would get to. Um, Here they've got that floating bit. Now I know, let's see, what was it? Was it Bucky that did, Marshall that did that turns this upside down? It looks like a little tugboat. But again, it kind of sells the idea that this is water, so it's kind of floating there. This is a little off a little bit in my eyes, but I'm not going to pick on it too much. But here's like another, I guess that's supposed to be like a little submarine maybe sitting there. This is that giant, it's an oversized, I think it's the honey extractor, Protostar honey extractor thing. And they're just using it as kind of like a dock. So you get all these nice little pipings as railing, but it's just part of the construction itself. And then they've got that new, I don't know what you call it. It's not extractor, but it's something like that. Again, it looks like a little boat because of the movement and stuff. So there's all these little ships coming in, and then it just goes off into the distance. Obviously, the water, doesn't go anywhere, but it's supposed to be an indication that there's some kind of other out there. It's like, I don't know, it's a strange little build. And when I come across it, I thought, huh, not seen that before, so I'm going to show it. Over here you have like another little private meeting place. Maybe it's a marketplace because they've got like, here's the armorer sign. This is a different sign. It looks a little different. Got little shelving and stuff. So maybe somebody could come and role play little shopkeepers here, that kind of thing. And here again, they're using this as like a bar entrance, but there's no way to actually go in it. But it's a fun idea of how they're doing it. Again, bookshelves. I will look up what that item is. I know it's the bottom of something. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I don't know. But notice they're using all these animated bits as little boats. They're using the tank there. There's another one of those little grinder things. And then this is the real way to get to that upstairs, which I so poorly. Oh, see, they've got it blocked off. So see, I was smart. I cheated and got there anyway. Let's see. I think, oh man, that was like a very lousy jump. I think it's because I don't have the speed on. Let me try that again. There's a door there. I don't think we went through. So we went through this one over here. There's another one right here, which just goes inside a tank. See, it's another maze of those thingies. I don't know, just a strange little build. I think it has a lot of potential. It's probably one I'll end up visiting again later when they've finished off whatever they're going to do. Now, I don't think there's actually anything inside the house itself. If I remember right, it was empty, but I will check again just to be sure. I don't want to go on the assumption of that. Come on. Yeah, it's empty. But who knows what they might be planning for it. They gave it that blue tint like it flooded itself, kind of. But yeah, it's an interesting thing. A lot of little different ideas, especially those doors. I'm going to figure out what that door is.